Technical difficulties, Brian.
Did it get stuck on 0 seconds? Was
Yes.
that what it was doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I just went to another screen to check one thing. I'm like, feels like more than a minute, and it's just on mic. But well, hi Joe, how the heck are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh man, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty good, but I've got do you ever have that combination of like, oh yeah. Now it's coming through the other hold on. It's our audio is coming back through a loop through my headphones because I was just making sure indeed the live buttons were live. But I had one of those weeks where it was like up too late doing pen testing, but then I had some success, and then that makes me wide awake. So I just stare at the ceiling fan and then fall into a deep sleep because I've been thinking about the pen test so much that I feel like hot garbage. But then I wake into a day like today where you and me get to pen test SCCM, and then I've got the jollies again. But my body and appetite and yeah, everything is just going, it's doing this emoji, the one.
Yeah. On the plus side, it's Thursday, so there is that.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Well, we got some people in the chat. John says he loves this series. Thank you, John. Oh, and just to feel like I'm on CNN, Joe, let's just put that up briefly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That is fancy. That is fancy.
And wipe. Okay. So yeah, Joe and I are back for part 2 of testing GOAD SCCM. GOAD, well, just for some history, we did this last month for our third Thursday expedition where I'll just rehash a little bit of what we did there, but I won't. You're welcome to go check out that video, anybody who missed that series. But couple terminology things. GOAD stands for Game of Active Directory. And that is let me just, because I like links, and who doesn't, right? Let me just bring that over in a browser real quick and start spamming the chat with links, just because I like to make sure everybody knows what the heck we're talking about. And that is a lab that you can download and kind of push go. And as long as you have the right hardware and software configuration and just let it run for a few hours, it'll build you this vulnerable lab configured with many of the problems that our real life pen testing adventures find us abusing.
And there's a bunch of them. There's like a mini, there's just a ton of different ones in there, just the Game of Active Directory. And so yeah, awesome makes life so much easier.
And I did just so you know, kind of like what, or people know the platform that we're playing with today. That is on Ludus Cloud. And I did, if you just go to 7minutesec.com and you search for Ludus, I think you'll find kind of a 2-part series where, you could put this lab anywhere, but I put it in Hetzner because the pricing is cheap. A few of the quality-based things are cheap too, but that you can read more about. And we talk about last week. But yeah, that when you get Ludus installed, to your point, Joe, there's a nice little menu that's like, what flavor of GOAD do you want to install? And there's like vanilla GOAD, there's GOAD SCCM, which we'll play with, and then a couple other ones. And I have yet to play with full GOAD or any of the other flavors. Maybe after today's episode, I'll kind of shift gears and maybe fire up vanilla GOAD. Maybe we could give that GOAD a go in the future.
Easy for you to say.
But yeah, I think as far as it's advertised anyway, just as easy it was to spin up GOAD SCCM, it sounds like within a couple commands, you can say, delete GOAD SCCM, now bring up the next choice.
Yeah.
Regular GOAD or what have you. So I'm excited to continue where we left off. Just a couple news and errata kind of things. I want to just do a plug for 7minsec.club, which is our Substack. Talk briefly about a big update that broke a bunch of stuff, but we're back online with BPatty, which is our site where we share a bunch of commands and tricks and scripts to hopefully help you be a more efficient pen tester. And then we'll get into the hacking. But Joe, I need your help with bullet 4. last time I was all excited to show you this.
I know. We totally forgot. We totally forgot about this. And you were like, I wrote a script. It's the coolest thing ever. And then you don't show it.
I really had high hopes for it. And I was bragging it up, calling myself basically a senior developer. And by that, I mean, type things into cursor build thing. But
right.
Still, would it have done it on its own?
No.
Well,
you need a good prompt. If you don't have a good prompt, Brian, AI is just worthless.
And that's it. That's maybe what I should write on my resume. Effective prompter.
Very effective prompter. Yeah.
So let's just touch on those things real quick, and then we'll just flip into terminal, and we'll flip and see if we can't, by the end of this time, get to your favorite group and my favorite group in the world, domain admin.
DAD, baby.
DAD, yes. And I don't want to put you on the spot. I just want you to be thinking about if and when we get DA, will you join in an impromptu domain admin dance of your choosing? It doesn't have to be synchronized between you and me. It can just be, just
does anybody really want to see that though, Brian?
Well, nobody does. And I said on the podcast,
and you don't give them a choice.
No,
your family doesn't want to see it. Your mom doesn't want to see it, and YouTube doesn't want to see it.
Nobody wants to see it. And when it happened, when I got a DA on something last week, I came out. It worked out perfect. My family was just getting home with dinner, and I came out and I met them doing the, and so they you should see their shoulders go down, and they just put the food down. They're like,
"We know what this means. Just get it over with."
Can you just give us the summary before the pizza gets cold? Yeah. I'm like, yes, I can. And I talked about Kerberos tickets and passing the hash and TGTs, and they're so nice. They go, oh, because
I know your wife and kids are just like, oh, please tell me more about Kerberos tickets, Brian. Please, I must know more.
Yep. They're very
own all the things.
They know the routine, and then it usually ends with them saying, we're just so happy that you're happy.
Yeah. And now can we eat? Go away,
please. Yep. And talk about literally anything else. Okay. So speaking of literally anything else, 7minsec.club is a little Substack newsletter that I'm going to try to do weekly, and it's not meant to spam you or annoy you. It aims to add a little bit of security value to your life. So I put out a post today, just giving a little behind the scenes of our move, taking bPatty from Docusaurus over to Retype, and then I broke a bunch of things, and then you pointed out some of those things, and it's fixed now.
Me and other people, but
yep.
Apparently you already knew it. So,
but I appreciated it. It's like makes me happy. Like, okay, cool. 2 people are using the site.
Yeah, your mom probably would have caught it too, though. I mean, she maybe sleeping in today.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, there's a voicemail from her. I'll get that later. And then I point to in that newsletter, there's a link off to my personal blog where I reviewed the movie The Gorge.
Oh, I did not. I was on Club this morning and did not notice that. I watched The Gorge. I didn't read your review, so if you want to give me a spoiler, you can. But
no.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I mean, this just spoils as far as my opinion of it. Which was
no. I meant your opinion, because I too I watched The Gorge, and but I
on a scale of.
I actually liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it seems, I mean, and my wife will usually say this to me, like, when I say like, oh, so-and-so, the music artist, everybody loves that person and I don't. And she'll just say like, yeah, I don't think their feelings are too hurt as they go to the bank and deposit $4 billion. And I thought I read somewhere this was one of the most, Apple watched things ever. So clearly it doesn't need me to support it. But I just thought once you actually, I was so excited to get into The Gorge and kind of be like, what's going on here? And then I think when it did, I was just like, and there's a moment, I don't know if you got this. This is the only specific thing I'll say, and it's not a spoiler, but there's a part where Miles Teller, he's thinking about some stuff and he's figuring some stuff out about whatever's in the gorge. And he says something like, they can think tactically. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm out. But I didn't. I stayed in there. And anyway, Miles Teller and everybody involved, they don't need my support. So
right. Yeah, they're doing fine.
They're doing just fine.
Okay.
And then update out to bPatty. A couple of new things here. I did a lot of ticket playing, fiddling this week. That will come up in a tale of future pen test ponage. Okay. But ticket converter was really nice to be able to take a raw ticket blob and quickly format it to work on the Windows side of the house or Linux side of the house.
Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah, this morning. So
Easy peasy. Cool. And then just a reminder slash, like, I guess, I don't know, teaser for the next Tale of Pen Test Ponage. I have a feeling that I've overlooked in past pen tests hunting for people who have access to lapse passwords. Because I don't know about you, sometimes I get in, I run the ping castle, I look at what's out there to kind of pick at, and I see lapses installed, and I go, oh, yay for them. But kind of like, for me, like, I won't be getting any local admin passwords to just spray everywhere and get a hold of every system, right? But like these last maybe month or so, it's been more on my radar where I see companies with a very defined tiered permission infrastructure, and then I kind of go after people who may not be in the DA group, but they are in like a second tier group.
Right. Help desk people a lot of times have access.
Yes. Yeah. When you see
it's a good point though. I definitely would. When you see laps, you're kind of like, I guess I'll go a different path. But yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah. And you'll see, when you see kind of search through the groups, look through Bloodhound, look for anything with the word lapse in it. And sometimes you see, groups that are called whatever, lapse read or lapse write or something like that. Get a hold of one of those people, even if, you can steal a TGT from like one system you have local admin to. Well, cool. Turn around with something like NetExec, and it's got a module built right in to say, as this user, dump the local admin for Exchange or whatever, right? And then you could be well on your way to DA land. So so check that out. And I think that's it. And Joe, what are we not going to forget?
We're not going to forget NetExecer.
NetExecer. Okay, great. All right. So let me get into.
Did you get a trademark on that yet?
NetExecer or the?
Yeah, NetExecer. Yeah. And the GIF. Yeah, probably both.
I didn't pursue either yet. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm in a Linux box that is sitting in the same subnet as this SCCM lab. So sccm.lab is the domain name that gets spun up when you fire this off with Ludus Cloud or however you build it. Let's do a quick, just to recap, kind of, it's a small network, but let's do, I think we're this, and we get, just kind of from jump, we last time we had this account to work with, SMB, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. So it's a pretty teeny environment. We've got the main SCCM server. I've got a domain controller. We've got kind of our general client box we can install tools on and do stuff with. But I think today we'll just stick to command line because that's kind of fun. And then we've got this SQL box here. So last time, Joe, you and me we kind of started from nothing but physical access, and we went through a couple ways to Pixie boot, like just do a general DHCP Pixie boot, maybe get the media variables file, might be able to just bust that fella open and go, oh, cool, clear text credentials. And when that doesn't work, I think the second thing we did then is we kind of looked around the environment, or maybe we used SCCM Hunter, I think, to find systems where SCCM roles were installed. And we did a targeted Pixie boot. So that's something to do as well. If the general, one doesn't work, target it right at the box. And then, and then we got a variables file, and I think a couple different ways. Boom, we popped it open, and we gained access to the clear text NAA account, which, what was that for again? Network access account, I think.
Look again, but yeah, because I'd never heard that term before. This must, definitely like a, SCCM thing. So I'm looking some blah blah blah.
Yeah, and a lot of the offensive blogs will mention that, and kind of how you can go from that to elevating privileges. I've kind of seen a lot during our pen testing that the account you get from that Pixie boot shenanigan or targeted Pixie boot shenanigan is a DA account, and it kind of, for me, it makes my face reflex when I go from essentially having nothing but a I mean, no creds, right? Just
unauthenticated. Yeah.
Yeah. To go from absolutely nothing to then owning the environment. I mean, that's a pretty big step. So definitely something to, on the defense side, right? Test your environment, test your config for. So where we left off, I'm going to bring us back to that point. We had read up a little bit on SCCM and let me just drop a couple more links to make sure we're all kind of on the same page here. Misconfiguration Manager for my money, which is free. That's like the best place to go to just read about all the different recon, enumeration, initial foothold, privilege escalation that you can do based on, kind of based on what you have. So you can go from, I have no cred to, oh, I have a low priv cred to I have a SQL cred. And it's awesome. They talk about the, attack numbers, how to offend with various tools, how to detect it. It's flipping sweet.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, kind of what I've been following as part of our prep for this is this, I think it's a 3 or 4 part guide that, and this guide, we were talking before we hit record that we're only kind of scratching the surface of like a handful of things that are built into this lab. But the way you and I got that NAA count, I think there's like 3 or 4 more ways built into the lab. So it's kind of like Pokemon, just collect them all. I mean, try them all. But I just thought, for the sake of kind of giving folks a taste of this, we'll just kind of pick a path and go from where you and I were at last time to hopefully find ourselves in the DA group. But what we had learned in our looking through those links and research is that the main SCCM server here called MECM, just kind of by default, by design with the SCCM infrastructure, that machine account is a local admin on the SQL component of SCCM.
Yep.
So we did, and hope you don't mind, I'm going to just make sure with my notes here, Joe, that everything looks copacetic. We did an NTLM relay X, and we targeted, this is the IP of SQL, at 10.3.10.42. And did I do, hold on a second. Oh, I did. Okay. I did do socks.
Yeah.
So I specified socks, and that's so if we do get a successful relay, then it's like a session that just stays active that we can like proxy other stuff through. Yeah. Otherwise, it's kind of like a one-shot thing. You get the relay, and then whatever, like if, for example, if I eliminated socks, what would happen is that when the relay was successful, it would try to do a SAM dump and then be done.
And then disconnect. Yeah. And the other thing you were mentioning last time was the fact that you're going to relay to this server. Oftentimes you're finding that SQL is installed on the same box as SCCM. So that's kind of, to me, like the medium, small size business SCCM install or configuration manager, whatever you want to call it now. But so yeah, if it's on the same box, this attack obviously isn't going to work. So
yep. Good call. We were talking before we hit record. It'll be cool if somebody can, I think maybe, was it like years ago? I don't know. I don't know if I've been pen testing that long, but I thought maybe you used to be able to do some self relay attacks, but maybe, just
I don't know.
Stuff people find. I feel like it's not out of the question, right? That
I just love that there's always something new too, or even things that are old or new again. Cause like, oh yeah, we started examining this again. And cause SCCM attacks, it comes into flavor, and then it's out of flavor, and then it's like, there's a bunch more stuff on, the certificate attacks, we've added a bunch of new things. So always something fun to play with. Yeah.
I can't remember. It was not too long ago. I was looking at certificate attacks, and I think maybe it's I think the main development page for Certipy, I think that has kind of gone, I don't know. I saw some, I don't have firsthand knowledge, but I was chatting about it in one of the Slack channels, and they were saying, yeah, like nobody's really heard from the developer. There's a whole bunch of great changes in the queue that aren't published. And then I think somebody made like a Certipy merged or something where they've kind of forked it off and
Right.
put more stuff in there. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's ESC 14 and 15 and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I was kind of only familiar with the first 8 or so. Okay, so we got our socks thing going. So if I go, what do I do? Sessions, what do I type? Or just socks? No relays available. Okay, but we're listening for them. So then I'm just going to authenticate to the main SCCM box. And I'm going to use just a regular user, Dave. Oops, Dragon, and I'm going to use the Coerce Plus module from NetExec that'll just try a bunch of coercions in one blast. I think what I found when it wasn't working is that I didn't, I got a spelled listener, right? Listener. Yeah. I have to set the listener to me. This is my IP so that the coercion comes to me and I act like a rubber band, boing, and I flip it over to the SCCM box. And SMB signing has to not be enabled, right? For this to work. I don't know that we talked about that.
We did last time, just mention, look,
okay.
When we first did this scan, we're like, oh, look, SMB signing false. Yay.
Yeah, right. So it's here on the DC, but it's off everywhere else. And that's, I mean, I feel like I talk about it every day. And then in my mind, it's like, oh yeah, companies are doing this now. But I still, very often walk into an environment where it looks like this, which would be the default, right? It is the domain controller.
By default, on domain controller only.
Yep. Okay, so there's our relay window. Let's go ahead, and I think all the pieces look right there. Let's give that a shot. Okay, we're vulnerable. We did the RPC call, and let's flip over to Windows 0. Let's do socks. Oh, hello. Hello, successful relay. Not only hello, successful relay in green, but right there. Admin status true. I mean, that doesn't put a song in your heart, Joe, or a spring in your step.
Spring in the step for sure.
Spring in the step for sure. Okay.
Yeah, because song in the heart only comes from the dad down. So.
Okay. All right. Well, then, yeah, save it. Don't wind yourself right now. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So with this relay just sitting there, again, if I go socks, this is an active connection that I can proxy things through. Although I'm finding less and less success doing this, certainly one thing I would be interested in trying. Oh, there's my net reminder window. Okay, Don't forget it. One thing I would want to do is use proxy chains and do a little secrets dump action. So I would do something like this: proxy chains, secrets dump. Can't remember if I need the pi. Hold on a second. Nope. Okay. So secrets dump, and I'm going to go no pass, and I need to give it the like the kind of target or session name right here. So I'm going to go SCCM lab, and then because I think some of these tools, they'll have problems at times parsing the
dollar sign,
the dollar sign,
special characters, whatever.
Yep. So I'm going to put that there and say at 10.3.10.42. We'll see. Oh, it did. Okay. So it did work here, which is cool. A lot of times what we'll see in pen tests is it'll be like, okay, we're starting, we're going to do hashes, and then it'll be like connection broken.
Right.
Like, yeah, EDR came in with a hatchet and was just like, no, you're not doing that. But if it does work, it's nice. You get the local accounts and hashes that you could pass. So like, if this was an admin and they weren't using laps, you might now have local admin everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. And John was asking in the chat, how's the MemCM $ admin? And so it was the...
Oh, yeah. And so that's something that just kind of per the, and I've not installed, I've never really had to be on the blue team side of this. So I'm just taking the Microsoft documentation for this. The MECM, I guess, just by way of installing SCCM, per that default, the MECM machine account has local admin on SCCM. So Well, and I don't think last time either, we didn't necessarily like discover that or like do some technical test to reveal that. I think it was just in reading through the Microsoft Docs and the offensive security blogs.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things of note that you get here. You get the cached account hashes. I know a couple of our colleagues really love to like they'll grab these and try to crack them. I've not personally had a lot of luck with that because I mean these are juicy accounts, right? It'd be great to get, especially admin. But you know, if they get a decent password policy, I think these hashes themselves take more.
They're much harder to crack. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, I've definitely done it, especially when it's like I am out of ideas.
Desperation, right?
I'm going to get my computer
my
over
Hail
here
Mary,
something to heat up the room while I sit and question my life choices.
If it's not doing anything, anyways.
Right. Yeah, might as well. And then you know, some of my favorite stuff, like at the bottom here, often you'll get a couple good examples would be if that box that we just secrets dumped, if that's running like a, you know, like a patching or a monitoring program like PDQ deploy or land sweeper, that kind of thing. If they've got if it's configured, if that account is configured to run under a service, we may get, like we did here, a clear text username and password. So if I do a little, whoops, if I do, and I go just SCCM lab and I go user SCCM SQL password. So there we go. So we got another, you know, another account, which, you know, which might be a local admin elsewhere. So I would probably turn right around and do something like that. Just spray it everywhere. And it is, let's see. Oh yeah. And on MSS SQL, it's admin. That might be, you know, just another way to kind of pull a few more bits of account, you know, creds to increase your influence in the network.
Yeah. John asked too. Oh, in every pen test I've made, I've never seen a machine account as a local admin, and I don't know if I've just not looked for that either. But yeah, like Brian was saying, is in the documentation that when you install SCCM, it does that, and we're not sure why.
Yes. Okay. So I've got and it's almost like you're teeing up what I think will probably be next week's Tale of Pentest Ponage. An example that sort of fits what you were just talking about is we were on a test where we managed to get local admin to an Exchange server. And then when we looked at the Bloodhound map, and we kind of said, okay, from the point of the Exchange server, is there a path to the root, you know, domain.com? And it said, oh yeah, as a matter of fact, the Exchange box has what was it? It had full right DACL or whatever to the AD Sync Azure account. So I guess that wasn't a local machine account being local admin to another machine, but it was the local Exchange account was admin to the AD Sync account.
Right.
So we went and installed the TGT for the Exchange account, used it to write full access on that AD Sync account to our low priv account.
Nice.
And then did shadow credentials to steal DC sync permission,
right?
And then sync a DA. So yeah, but this one, you're right. I don't know of any other like by design machine account X is admin to Y. But yeah, really good thoughts, good questions. Okay, so we were just showing with secrets dump, probably going to get killed by EDR, but if you're lucky enough to pull it off, you might get some great things there.
Yep.
Let's see, and then I'm going to bring up, let me just see here. I just wanted to show that with our active SOCs session here, something that I've had some luck in just getting plain text treasures is to use this OpenSOX connection to establish an interactive SMB shell, and really just kind of like old school DOS, just CD through directories,
kind of poke through,
and look for stuff. So normally I would try to use like SMB exec, and that comes with Impacket, but that's like really heavily signatured without some customization. And man, I used it just kind of out of habit on a pen test last week, and it's like, yeah, the EDR was like, no to that, and also we're not going to accept any
more connections.
And it's like, if you're purple teaming it with a client, I think that's, I mean, still a good thing to like see and then be like, hey, could you lift the shield so I can try some other things? But have you played, and I'm a novice with it, have you played with, just bring this up here, with this one, SMB client NG? Okay, so I'll just drop that in the chat, just so we're plopping all the stuff. So it's by Podalarius, which what is it? There's a repo here. Oh, Courser. It's the Courser author.
Oh, did you mention this on a podcast? And
yeah.
You must have, because I'm like, wow, this sounds eerily familiar. Why?
Right. Yeah. Why do I feel like we've talked about this?
Sometimes, I'll be honest, I listen to the podcast like right when I wake up, and I think there's times that I fall asleep and just absorb some of the information and
I
feel like I've heard this before.
There are times I fall asleep. Period. But I found pretty good luck with attaching to systems with it and not having EDR lose its mind. So yesterday when I was playing in the lab, I was like, well, let's try to proxy chains it into our session.
Okay.
And if all goes well here, we'll do exactly that. So the user is, and this took me a while to fudge with the format here. I'll eventually get this on bPatty, but you specify the user, which again is the machine account. So I'm going to put that in single ticks just to make sure the $ comes through okay. And then I think I could actually do tac no pass or something, right. But I'm just going to do this for nothing, for no password. And then I'm going to choose SCCM lab. Let's see if that goes for us. Oh, look at that. And if I go shares, it's just going to warn me if you do a bunch of write checks, that might leave some artifacts. And so, be careful. And I'm going to say that that's fine. Yeah. And then look at that. Here's our shares that we can plunk into.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring this up is, man, I've found a lot of, I mean, maybe it looks kind of just dull and boring, but I've found a whole bunch of interesting stuff if I've got local admin to a box by doing exactly this, just attaching to the C drive. So I would say like use C $.
Yeah, this is one where you're saying scripts, and right before you said it, I was like, "You're going to say scripts, aren't you?" Right? It's like, yes, C $ scripts or C Git, or I mean,
oh yeah, Git, sure,
tools,
found environmental secrets, API keys, all sorts of stuff. But it, and I remember this from my sysadmin days too, where it's like that's where me and the team would often put kind of our standard. If we had to log into a box with admin rights and then run some update or something quick, we would have a C: scripts or tools that nobody else could see, or we'd lock down the permissions, and then it would have creds in it or have secrets in it. So yeah, just CDing around here and tools or whatever. Oh, well, I don't know how to spell it right. Or is it no escaped character? Yeah. Well, maybe this is gonna be a bad example. Tools, okay, DIR, and again, you might find interesting things. Now, totally by accident. So this is something I'm just going to say up front. I don't know if this is a by design SCCM SQL, I don't know, install or artifact. Yesterday, purely on accident, I was, let me look at my notes. Oh, I was here, I did a DIR. I was like, oh, setup. I was like, that folder looks interesting. We'll come in here. We've got a SQL subfolder that also looks interesting. I'll go into it. I'll do a DIR. And there's this SQL conf ini. And again, just purely out of like, this looks interesting, I'll do a, I think you can do cat SQL conf.any. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe, maybe somebody in the chat can tell us, like, is there usually this INI file out here, which has, SQL account credentials in it? And this appears to be an SA password for the SQL side of the environment. And we got the SA account just like that.
Interesting.
Is that anything you'd heard of? I've not come across any file in my travels. So I was like, well, cool. Well, I guess should I find myself with C drive access to SCCM SQL, I better go look for it.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't even like Googled for it. Maybe it's like a super common artifact and everybody's like, duh.
Yeah.
But,
duh, Brian.
But it was a good one to see. And it tees up perfectly the trail I want us to take to get to DA, which is, and this comes again, straight out of the kind of walkthrough here by Mayfly. Yeah. Which is, and this is also somewhere in here. I don't have the exact link, but somewhere in Misconfiguration Manager, they talk about if you've got yourself local admin to the SQL instance for SCCM, you can pull some encrypted user cred strings or data out of the SQL side, and then come back over into the main, like the site server or whatever you call the main SCCM box. And on it, you can decrypt the creds to potentially get clear text, wonderful DA creds. So this just worked out perfectly, where it's not really the path I was thinking of taking, but I thought, okay, if I've got a SQL SA password and I need to do a query against SQL to yank that out, I can do that. Actually, I don't know if I have notes on it. I could do that a couple different ways. In fact, maybe I will, because I think we're doing okay. Time just flies, and all of a sudden it's
20
minutes to the thing.
20 minutes, Brian. 20 minutes. Jeff McJunkin, friend of the show. Comment in there too. CTools something.ps1. All the time, like all the time. And certain system admins cannot help themselves but putting passwords in PowerShell admin scripts. And thank you. I mean, as a pen tester, right? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. but that's usually on the delivery meeting. The admins kind of give each other the friendly or not so friendly ribbon. Right. Like, well, that was Joe, that was Todd that did that.
Oh, I totally forgot about that script. I meant to delete it. Yes, you did.
We'll find like that one thing, right?
They're like, seriously, it's the only one. Yeah.
Well, I'll just show just a real quick. I'll just show a SQL query through NetExec, just so you can see what that looks like, because I don't see that. I don't see like a whole lot of like blogs and talk about that NetExec has SQL interaction with
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I'll do sccm.lab. I'll say user sccm SQL. Well, let's see. I'll use I'm going to use this one to get that done. I'm just going to go password of that, and I'll say query. I'm just going to paste this rather than type it, because I'll probably fat finger it. Just do a simple SQL query for all the databases.
That's crazy. I had no idea. Nice.
Yeah, that's super cool. But if it's, in this case, it's probably a little easier if we're going to have to run several queries in a row. It's probably a little bit easier to get like my SQL client going, which is part of Impacket. So I'm going to grab that. Where was that again? Here's that SA password. So I'll copy that into clipboard and I'll do mssql client.py. Shoot. What was the name of the account again? Oh, just SA. Got it. mssql.sccm.lab. There we go. We'll paste that in. There we go. Hello. We are now at a SQL prompt, so we can feed SQL queries right in here. So what you can do that walkthrough to, again, pull out encrypted creds to later bring over to the other SCCM system and decrypt, they will say, well, let's just do it one more time. They'll say, just enumerate the databases. And I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat can tell me, I don't know if the default database name is this.
Yeah.
But in our
manager underscore, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So maybe that's the it's probably if it was named something else, I imagine you could run some more queries to quickly figure out like, oh yeah, these are the right rows or tables. But we'll do we'll use that one. So we'll use PO1 and then we'll run the query to get SC user account information, which looks like so. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, that, like Tommy Boy says, pretty little maids all in a row. So we got the push account. We've got this account. Now you and me got this cred last month, so we don't really care about this one. However, this one gets me salivating right in this region here.
Skip all the others. We're going right to the
all the others. Yeah, I will. I could bring up the GUI of the DC and we could look in the domain admins group, but I know how this story hopefully will end. And this is a true domain admin account. So I will just copy this into a separate notepad. And fair warning, just for a guy I know, i.e. me, when copying blobs of TGTs, or in this case, multiple rows of text, kind of depending on what tool or editor you're in, when you go to paste this somewhere else, it might come with line breaks in it.
I know. That drives me crazy. I can't tell you how many times that I've even tried to crack stuff, and you're like, I feel like this, and then you're just like, oh my God, you're in, Nano or something and doing
it's the where it always kicks me in the face is with Hashcat, because when you feed Hashcat, something like this with line breaks,
exactly, and it's
come on, get to it. Oh, whoops, I got to clean it up. So separately on my other screen here, I've got that in a nice one line, no breaks. Okay, so let's get out of here. So that's the piece we need on the SQL side. Let's leave here, and then the next piece of it is we need to be on the main SCCM server to do the decryption component of this. And so I'm going to use. I'm just going to use evil winrm. We're just going to stay right in the terminal, and I'm going to use evil winrm to remote in. And at the beginning of this, we saw that our basic account, Dave, already has local admin to the SCCM box. So that's how we know this. That's why this is allowed. And this is a great, the whole coming at it from the PowerShell angle is so helpful in a pen test, because a lot of times we're seeing RDP as a lockdown either by group or MFA. They've got MFA on it. So let's go in as Dave. Here we are. So host name. Okay. Main SCCM box. There's us as Dave. And then I'm going to, let me just bring up that, I'm going to make sure I'm on the right, where I've shared the right link with this walkthrough, just so if people want a little bit more background. Is it this one? So on, I think I'm just going to repaste it in case I didn't. The part that I'm now following comes right from doing the deciphering of the password using this decryption gist. So this is specifically for decrypting SCCM account passwords. And there's a little X or Twitter thread here to kind of, read through the longer version. But again, we're taking that encrypted blob from the DA account from the SQL side. We've brought it over to the primary SCCM box, and now we're going to run the decryption method. So get this guy open. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take this straight from. I'm going to go to my. I kind of like to run things. When I'm on pen test, I kind of like to run things out of public, because if it's the case where maybe I throw an evil exe on there and it gets gobbled, the artifact will probably have the user attached to it anyway. But if they see a file path and it's, C users / the account Brian compromised, it's a, pretty good warning sign, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh geez, he's got a hold of this account. But I kind of like to just operate here because sometimes I'll do some work and then I'll nuke the artifacts on the way out. Just do a del space R, just so that sometimes the customers want to go in forensically later on their own and try to piece together what we did without us telling them what we did. But I'm going to curl that gist that we just looked at. So the SCCM decrypt POC, I'm just going to save it. The TACO is just save it locally.
Yeah.
With a nice benign name, right? And then we do a DIR, that should be there. And then this, I don't know if because this decryption part has to be done on this machine. I can't say if this next part where we make it into an EXE, I don't know if that EXE itself would be immediately eaten by EDR or if you'd have to do some obfuscation. But I think
it depends. Yeah,
probably depends. Yeah. But what the methodology tells us to do is just use the Windows built-in csc.exe to take the everything is fine CS that we just downloaded and build it into an executable called totes legit. So this part in the real world, I don't know if all of a sudden right now EDR would be like, whoa, totes legit is not legit. Delete it. But it's here for now. And I don't know. There's probably a command line. I can see if Defender has an exclusion, but whatever. We're just proof of concepting it, right? So with this EXE built, the format to do the decryption is really simple. It's just totes legit EXE space that big blob that we just grabbed.
Yeah.
And again, reminder to me mostly, check for those line breaks before you do this. Because if you do, I think if it's not formatted right, you'll get, you know what? Here's another easy thing that I keep forgetting. We're in like a PowerShell prompt. So sometimes at least with Evil WinRM, it won't take the straight up EXE. You got to specify it. But you might see if you have line breaks or not the right number of characters, you might get something like that. My error was a little bit different because I did have the right thing, but I had line breaks in there. So I'm just going to save myself a little bit of keyboard work here and just paste it in. Now get ready, Joe, if this works, get ready. It might be time. So let's do paste. So there we are. /totes legit exe space whole big blob. 3, 2, 1.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, I can't see. I don't know if you're dancing yet. Okay.
I'm not dancing because you haven't validated that password is successful.
Oh shoot. Oh. Wow, Mr. Buzzkill. Okay, fine. I got excited because I saw this, and it looks like a DA account, but you're right. Don't count
your chickens or what?
Don't count your domain admins before you're hatched. Okay, fine, Mister. We got to do everything by the books.
By the book.
SCCM.lab user is what's it called?
SCCMDA. There was something in front of it though, wasn't there?
SCCM.
DA.
Did I do that in this window? Oh wait, shoot. Oh, I cleared the screen. Oh no. I can look at maybe SCCM SQL.sa or
SCCM-account-DA.
Account DA like that?
1 sec, gotta switch back. Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go! And 5, 6, 7, 8. We're dancing. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh, I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to beg for people's participation. But if somebody in chat could be like, that's neat. That's really all the validation I'd be looking for today, Joe, is for somebody to go like, that's neat. And there we are. We're truly domain admin. Oh, and you know what? Because we have a few minutes, let's do one final thing that I wish I could put a big disclaimer. Oh, maybe I can. I'm going to put up a disclaimer to say, don't do this in a real pen test. Can I do that? I can. Hold on. Don't do this in a real pen test. Here we go. Watch this.
Come on.
I'm going to put this
there
up.
There it is.
Okay. So now I got this up for the following part. And you and I have talked about this, I think, a few times over the years, where on a pen test, if you get to this point, well, something attackers would definitely want to do, and it's natural that you would want to simulate, is let's dump all the hashes, baby. Let's do a NTDS dump and get, all the hashes, including KRB TGT. You certainly can do that, but my experience has been it causes the domain controller to completely have a panic attack. And it can like reboot the domain controller, and that to me is like an availability based risk. And I don't know, I guess like
it's not the kind of afternoon you want to have,
No, my mind goes to, I mean, when it happened, and by the way, I think if you search for secret stump crash domain controller,
there's might be a comment in somebody's repository about.
You might find a comment from somebody that we know, and then go and read all about it. So interestingly, check this out. I don't think I knew this, or maybe I didn't remember it. I'm gonna use NetExec again with NTDS, I think it is. So look at this. It even stops. Oh wait, is it blocked? Do I have a bad visibility? No, it's fine.
No, yes, sir.
Dumping the NTDS can crash the DC on server 2019. I'm not saying my issue prompted that, but I did see when I started that issue, I think there was some chat from at the time, I think it was still CME folks who, I think different people were coming in and trying it and doing memory dumps and like all this stuff. And I don't remember. I haven't looked at the issue in a while. I don't know if there came to a consensus of like,
oh yeah, it would be interesting. Go back and read through that now that you mention it and see if they're like, oh, here's why this is happening. Like, is there some new protection or something?
Yeah. So what I really like
the protection mechanism is just die.
Yeah. So that's what I'm in the habit of doing now. Like, well, actually, let's just do yes, because we don't care if it crashes. But there we go. There's all the pretty little hash maids all in a row, right? From everything. But what I do now on pretty much standard for a long time is I use the option they recommend here, and I just do a proof of concept by pulling out one hash, like domain admin or probably KRB TGT, since that's the lifeblood. So I'll do like user KRB TGT.
You take out the
plop. Yeah. And then we can too have the discussion. Often we find that KRB TGT hasn't been rotated in a while or forever. That's been on a couple interesting delivery meetings where we'll say, hey, it was last rotated, whatever, January 1, 2010. And they'll be like, oh, that's the first day the company was founded. Like, that's when we built the domain. It's like,
It's those weird things you run across too, where you're like surprised that people don't know about it now. Like, it seems like, probably because we've told so many people to do this, that doesn't everybody know that? Apparently not. So,
right. Yeah. So I think it's important we keep it. And that's another thing, just I find myself trying to keep resetting back to, is like, just because we live and breathe it every day, it just doesn't mean like there's a sonic wave happening and other people are all of a sudden in the middle of a forest going, oh, I rotate KRB TGT. It's like, we'll just keep talking about the basics, because a lot of companies, still need to tidy up the basics. So,
hey, Brian, there was something you were not supposed to forget. We're looking at just a couple minutes till the top of the hour. So,
dog face. Yes. Okay.
So domain admin dance accomplished. Check.
Okay. Real quick, and I'll speed it through this wrapper. It's not out on anything yet. I'm just testing it on some engagements to see how it works. But it's just a wrapper for NetExec. So I'll fire this off real quick. Gives you a menu of options, and these are like common things you would check with NetExec. Some of them double up with Pingcastle, but for me, I like to have like text files with key things like who's got SMB signing, where are all my users, where's my computers, blah, blah, blah. So we'll start with step one. And again, this will be the most breakneck speed thing ever, where I'm going to just validate the cred that the customer would give me. In this case, we'll just use our Dave Dragon one. It'll just do a quick check, and then we can see here, yep, the cred worked. So I'll say yes. And then that actually just gets saved for future use, if it says here, in a little JSON file, so that now all the other enumeration I run, I don't have to keep typing in or copying and pasting a huge password. So if I want to just check like machine account quota, it's going to tell me what it's about to run. And then also if I was like, whoopsie daisy, I have 7 seconds to cancel. But everything that happens, the results get saved to a file, but then you can also see them. If the resolution was a little bigger, we'd see that machine account quota is 10. And then, for example, if I just want to do a quick Kerber roast, let's do that. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see. And there we go.
Nice.
Oh, yes, we have some Kerber roastable accounts.
Kerber roastables.
Ooh, pretty. Yeah, I guess we probably didn't look at that. Looks like we likely would have been able to put that on a
SQL account, right?
Yep.
Yeah, of course it was the SQL account. So you're going to keep testing this out and then publish it out there somewhere?
Yes, and I don't know when, but it's really, again, kind of sped things along, especially in the if you get a new account by cracking hash, or you find a clear text. I love that I could quickly turn around and, I just built a computer list. Now I can run module 9 here to just check all of them to see if I'm local admin.
Yeah, kind of inspired by Metasploit and it keeping all of your passwords and hashes and everything. So I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, more to come on that. But so far it's just helped me automate some of the boring stuff. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Always working, Brian. You're always working.
Always working. Oh, let's see. Now I can take the third thing down. Was there any other? No, it was nice. Nice to see some familiar faces. And Joe, I don't want to put you on the spot, but this series we've done has just gotten like people kind of dig this stuff as you and I do.
Yeah.
So
let's keep doing it.
I want to keep. Yeah, I want to pick at SCCM a little bit more, and if there's anything super exciting, maybe we can do part 3. Otherwise, I know people have asked about, like, have you done the main GOAD, which I think is much bigger and has even more good stuff. So maybe I'll burn this down and in the next month or 2 fire up regular GOAD and we can have a go. Yeah,
I like it.
All right, buddy, and everybody. Thanks.
Look at that. We're right at time.
Oh, we got that.
God,
I mean,
it's top of the hour.
That was good. That was I always really, honestly, when I go through it on my own yesterday, I'm like, it's gonna take 10 minutes, but we end up on good. I think for the most part, good tangents.
Yeah.
I don't think
only good tangents.
Yeah. I mean, you never go on unproductive tangents, but I do. I think even that we did okay.
I have to tell you though, my favorite thing in the world is how you can reel yourself in from the inception of tangents. Every time I'm like, it's a thing to behold of like, he's 3 tangents deep now, and he reeled it all the way back. I would have been like telling my life story, or like, what am I even doing here? What is my name?
Little peek behind the wizard curtain that nobody cares about, but I'll share anyway. There have been a few where it's like I've started recording in the truck, and I'll be like, we're going to talk about this one thing, and then I go, but first let me just tell you about like a side thing, and I go on that, and then I get 3 levels inception deep. And then I go, okay, now where were we? In my mind, I will have lost what the actual topic is. Like not how to get back there, but like I don't even remember
talking about. How do we even start this thing?
And so then I just go off with the recorder, and I was like, what is it? Oh, SCCM. God darn it! And then I start again. So sometimes there is a take 2 or take 3 because I can't recover.
And you can drive and do all that. I would end up in a different state. I'd be like in Tangent Town. They'd be like, how did I get to this other state?
And I don't know what it is about it when I do, because that is one thing. Every once in a while, I'll get kind of a nasty gram where people are like,
yeah,
people's lives a danger, and I'm like, okay. But if I do just pull over to a park on a nice day and roll down the windows, it's harder.
Yeah.
I find myself just like, oh look, a butterfly. But yet
you
driving
need an activity to
things, I can just
the juices flowing.
Yep, and definitely I have taken the long way home, but so far I haven't ended up in another state yet. But no, the first time for everything. So
awesome. Well, happy Thursday. It was great.
You too. Thanks everybody. That was super fun. Appreciate it. And I'll get the closing. We'll roll the closing movie. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been watching or listening to 7 Minute Security, a weekly podcast focused on pen testing, blue teaming, and building a career in security. For more episodes like this, visit 7ms.us. And for information about our consulting services, visit 7minsec.com.